Yay. Hey, guys. Uh-oh. It says there is an error with recording. I think that's okay. Looks like we're going live in all the places. I'm just getting everything started. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to Hammock Time. I couldn't help playing on words with that. It was just too fun. I couldn't pass it up. From Hammer Time. So yes, we're having a good time with it here. While everything is getting started on my end, because we're going live on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're also on LinkedIn. Come on, people on LinkedIn need
Oh,
rest time too. I know they
yeah.
think that they got it all together, and you do, but you also need rest time. So we're all in all the places. So, okay, we're
Wow.
officially live everywhere, you guys.
Yes, I checked it.
Welcome. Yes, come on. It's so fun. Okay, now, as you can see, Kat and I are already in our hammocks. And let me tell you the truth. I have
My
already
hammock is
fallen. Yeah. Oh, it's
right
right
there.
behind it. Yes, yes. I've already fallen out of my hammock, so I'm like holding on. But we're
Don't do
still
it.
having fun with this. So much fun. Okay, so if you're here, make sure you say hello in the chat. I'm going to try my best to see it and manage being in the hammock at the same time. But the topic that we're talking about today is every week on Freedom Fridays at 12 noon. I talk about, adding, being intentional about adding more rest and fun in our schedule. And I always, every week, when we're talking about the list of fun things to do to add into our rest and fun, I always talk about hammocking and I talk about cat. And I was like, you know what? I need to have Kat on this channel so that we could talk about hammock time. And why don't we just go live in our actual hammocks, have a conversation, have some quiet time, all the things. Let's just do it all together. So that's what we're doing here. Yay! Maggie said, hey, Megan, it's so good that you got to join us. I'm going to try to be, let me fix this here. There we go. So we can see the comments in the middle of the screen. Awesome, awesome. So yes, yeah, I'm glad you had a chance to join. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. So before I go any further, I have been on Kat's channel, but I want to introduce you guys to Kat. So Kat, say hello, tell
Hi.
everybody a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kat from Rebloom Room. And what am I? I am a Reiki practitioner. I'm a an aspiring retreat host, so close to being retreat host. I am a podcast manager and all of the things. And on my YouTube channel, I talk about different ways that Black women and other women of color can bring more joy into our lives, whether that's through traveling internationally or domestically. And a lot of really nice, holistic, juicy self care
Mm,
um, that make us feel good, make us, relax, happy. Um, and yeah, that's what I do.
I love it. I love it. Bringing the joy into every single thing. So why should we not have
Yeah.
that? I think we've had too many times and too many outside pressures that made us feel like joy should be like a secondary thing. We've been made to feel like get work done first and then have joy. And yeah, Kat is like, no, we're not doing that. And I love that. I love that so, so much. So this is
Yeah.
good. I'm excited, you guys. So okay. I think the other couple myths, and Kat, I would love for you to add to this. Like, I think there are enough myths about rest that we should spend some time talking about them and about releasing ourselves from that pressure. For example, there's a myth that, rest is lazy. I don't think I'm being lazy when I'm in my hammock. I don't know about you, but I enjoy time in my hammock. I enjoy this time where I get to, you probably won't be able to hear it because I have sound suppression, but I can hear all the crickets, the outside nature, like I'm getting to enjoy nature and reconnect back to myself. But if we're worried that rest is lazy, that you have to earn time for rest, that rest is a sign of weakness, that resting will set you back if you take time to rest, or resting is unproductive, or resting is self-indulgent. Like all of these stupid things that we believe about rest, and you won't give yourself time to enjoy it, which is trash, right?
Yeah. I think that the word lazy is just thrown around, and I think
Mm,
that we should just dissolve it and not use it because it's just been used against people um, who actually are just tired.
mhm,
A lot of times they've worked a lot and
mhm.
they're just tired now. And so then how can they be lazy if they've worked all this time and now they're tired?
Right.
That's nonsense. Um, and if your body needs rest, your body needs rest. So I don't see how that's lazy. That's actually just being practical.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't, I don't accept that word.
Yeah.
I don't accept it.
I like
Yeah.
it. Let's just get rid of it altogether. Like, let's not ever use that word again. I was listening to Marissa Price. Was it Marissa? No, I was listening to both Marissa and Alicia Renese, but I think it was Alicia Renese that said, um, calling someone lazy is shaming them into this capitalist mindset to keep going on and on, shaming us
Yeah.
into continuing to be a strong Black woman. And I'm like, if
Yes.
you don't
Push
speak a
through.
word, right?
Yeah, to push through, like to push through your exhaustion, to push through your burnout, to push through your overwork. And that's just nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nonsense.
It
You
is.
really, your body's saying, I need to rest. So if you can, do the rest. Like if
Yeah.
you're not, if you
Yeah.
can rest, then go ahead and take the time to
Right.
rest. And doesn't cost anything. You just lay down, close your eyes, and there you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or even just not even lay down. Just
Yeah.
close your eyes and like rest your eyes for a moment.
Right.
That's
Yeah. I
just
love
stare out
that.
the window. Stare out
And
the window.
when I think about it, I think about how, even I think like the last conversation that you and I had, you said that, it's been something that has been a priority for you for a while, if not always. But I know for so many of us that struggle with being that strong Black woman, and that pressure, how do you feel, like what was the turning point that made it easy for you to shift away from being that strong Black woman and actually making space to rest?
Well, I am the baby of the family.
Okay.
So it's strong black woman, like I'm supposed to be the baby. People are supposed to take care of me. I didn't get a lot of stuff piled on me in that way because
Hmm.
right, and if they tried to, I was like, but no. No, I'm the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but let me think, like strong black woman, strong black woman, strong black woman, strong black no, 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 it didn't. I think that's all I can say is probably because I was the youngest. And
Hmm.
so I don't know. It was always my life. My life was
Yeah.
always my life. I wasn't working or caring for other people at a younger age.
Hmm.
And I had my kid when I was like 40.
Mm. Yeah.
So, by the time I was seriously responsible for someone, that was already in my system of, so, but when you become a parent, for me, that's when it actually, it did shift to,
Yeah.
I have to do this. I have to do that. I can't just do for me.
Yeah.
You're a parent now, and I take it seriously, and I want this and this and this to be in place for my kiddo. So that's when it came on board for me was parenthood. So I guess strong or just good parent. More than that,
Mm.
supportive parent, good
Yeah.
parent, solid provider, all of that. That's what came on board when I became a parent. And so now I'm a little bit of an like I'm moving into the empty nester years.
Mm,
And so that parenting is backing off. It's like still
mhm.
there, but
Yeah.
it's not as intense as it was in the younger parenting years. And so that's shifted for me.
Yeah.
That's shifted. So I feel a little bit more like I'm more in the center of my life now than when I was that parent of a small younger human.
Mhm.
Um, where I really had to put myself to the side, put that child in the center, make sure that's been taken care of, and then I come second. Um, yeah, I think it's the empty nest years
Yeah.
that's becoming a shift, a big
Yeah.
shift. Yeah.
But I will also say, so what I hear you say also is that, because there's plenty of us who are, I'm single, and I grew up taking care of other kids. I mean, I was 12 years old, almost taking care of younger kids, and I just been trained to do that for so long. But the other part of what you said was like I was the baby, and so you leaned into that. So I think some of us, it would be in our best opportunity to lean into that I am the baby nature, like like lean into I am the baby era, like I am the one that needs to be taken care of. Why can we not lean
Yeah,
into, you know
yeah, yeah. It's one of those, how I'm going to be a little stereotypical here, but you know how men will be like, I don't know how to wash a dish. What? That's too hard. Did I drop it? You can do that kind of baby thing, and then people be like, oh no, she can't take it. No, she'll let her just go off and do her thing. You know? Yeah, lean into
right.
that.
Right.
A little
Let
bit of
somebody else take on that responsibility, because
yeah.
we've um we've defaulted to taking on that responsibility for so long, that
Mhm.
now not only is it expected of us, but even when we try to we don't know how to. I recognize this. Sometimes I jump into doing things before I even give someone a chance to do it. So I have to lean back into
Mhm.
deciding I am going to give someone else a chance to step up rather than forcing
Yeah.
myself to be the first one to step up. And that in itself has
Mhm.
been huge for me. That's what I hear when I hear you say step into my I'm the baby era, or I named it that. You
Mhm.
didn't name it that, but I named it
Yeah.
that.
Yes, because I do see it. I see like, people jumping in, oh, there's a dirty dish somewhere in the world. I must be the one to clean it. Or there is, a diaper that needs to be changed. I'll go ahead and do it. There's the, let's solve this problem real quick. It's
Mhm,
plucking off a problem here, doing that, and that takes energy.
mhm,
That just takes your focus off of what you're actually trying to achieve in a day. It just drains your energy. And yeah, other people are around to do things.
mhm,
So just pause. I remember, I don't know, I was at on vacation with a friend and her boyfriend, and we were like getting up in the morning, and she said, "Let me try this experiment. I heard that if you say to a man who's like trying to court you or whatever, woo you, if you like say something that you want and then drop it, don't like nag or hint or anything, just drop it. Why don't you just do the experiment?" So she was like, it'd be really nice. She said to him, it'd be really nice. I don't know. I'd really like to get like a New York Times and like a chocolate croissant. That would be really nice. Then she didn't say anything else. I
mhm.
mean, moved on. 10 minutes later, he was in the car and you could see him like driving down the driveway. I
Oh
was like, it
my.
works. It's like it works. I'm going to do this more often. You just say it and drop it. And you don't
Mhm,
make any action. You don't like get your keys and just drop it. So maybe you can do that with other people too.
mhm.
Just like sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't always work. I know this for a fact, especially with like, yeah, with the kid. Hey, Sure would be nice if I didn't have to cook dinner all the time. Gosh, it would be nice to have some, something tonight. That's not going to happen. But, you can try. You can
Yeah,
try.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if nothing else, I think just in the spirit of choosing not to jump into the responsibility every time is a huge step towards it. A huge steps towards saying, I am going to make my more space to rest, or like we're
To
talking
not
about
to
hammock.
not do. Yeah, to
Yeah,
not do.
to
To not
not
do.
do. It's
Well, yeah,
powerful.
and I think people have to realize that they're doing it first because
Mm,
I see it in other people. Maybe, people, you can see behavior in other people more easily. You can see it in yourself. So I
mm-hmm,
know I've seen other people like jumping to things, jumping to do this, always having to do something,
mm,
um, especially around like household chores and things like
mm,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's just choosing to not jump into it. Hey, Giovanna, thanks for joining. We're just talking about not jumping into responsibility as Black women all the time. And I want to get directly, specifically into hammocking. Kat, tell
Yeah.
me what made you, because I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know that hammocking was a thing until I was hanging out with a bunch of white people. So, how did you get into
Right.
hammocking?
Um, oh, I know how it was. It was the first time I went to Mexico,
Mm,
decades ago. I was staying in the house of a friend from film school. His family is like his mom, I guess. Wait, his mom is American, his stepdad is Mexican,
mm,
and so we were all in this, family house of his. And in the bedrooms, there were beds and hammocks. And I was like, okay, all right, let me try this. And he told us how to get in so you don't like fall, and then like we took naps in the hammocks. Like they were all around the house, they were outside, um, and that was my introduction, was like, okay, I can take a nap in this hammock. This is nice. This is really, really nice. And I hear like the breeze coming off of the Gulf of Mexico coming through the windows. I
mm.
mean, yeah. So ever since then, that's been like, okay, I need to have a hammock. I need to have a hammock.
I
So
love
yeah, I've
it.
been doing that. And I couldn't figure out for the longest time how to hang a hammock inside my house.
Mm,
Um, I can't, yeah, so I know that I got the hammock when I took a sabbatical.
okay.
I guess it was maybe almost 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, that I took a sabbatical year off. And I got a hammock then. I figured out how to hang it in my house. This one that's hanging behind me, this one. I figured out how to hang it up, and I just spent a lot of time that year in my hammock. Um, I did other things, but hammock was very. It became very important to me, and it's remained a very important part of my self care. I just spend a lot of time there. I take naps in it.
Mm.
I'll go in there. Yeah, sometimes I'll start my day, have some tea, and hang out in the hammock. Sometimes my cat will join me. Sometimes she won't.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Giovanna says,
No.
I have a swinging chair that I spend a lot of time in. Laugh out loud. A laughing face. Girl, that sounds like a
Mhm.
good place to be. I love it.
Mhm.
That's so good.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ashana
I
said
love
hey
those. I
too.
love those chairs. I love the
Yeah,
hammock chairs or the hanging chairs. Yeah,
I
they're
love
nice. The
it.
ones, yeah, I went on a yoga retreat and they had them there hanging from like
Mm,
underneath the house kind of thing. And they had like footrests that came out so you could like really sit back. It was really nice.
yeah,
They're not as easy to sleep in, I don't
right.
think, but if
Okay.
you don't have a lot of room, um, the hanging chairs can be good.
I, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I think the first hammock I got
Mhm.
in was honestly in aerial yoga. And I found that as a
Mhm.
Groupon. That was how I found that. And I loved it.
Mhm.
It hammocks out a different way, but it's still very comfortable. But it was at a studio, so I didn't have as much opportunity to do it unless I was paying for a class. And then I
Hmm.
went on this year-long mission trip, and it was I was the only black person out of 40, and most of them had hammocks. And I was like, I didn't
Oh,
even
wow.
know that hammocks were a thing, and they literally all had hammocks. And so I
Hmm.
remember trying it a couple times, but I was like, I was still a little nervous about it. But they showed me how to get into it, same thing. But when I lived in Costa Rica, the family that I stayed with, they had hammocks at their house, and it was just I would get in there with my headphones and put on my favorite music, get me some Lauryn Hill running, and I'd be just a humming and a swinging in this hammock, and it was the best thing
Yeah,
ever.
nice.
It's amazing, you know.
So Costa Rican hammocks are really narrow, aren't they? Like the ones that I saw in Costa Rica were much more narrow. They weren't as
Really?
like, yeah, the ones at the place where I was staying the longest, it was just very narrow hammock. I was expecting to be like able to stretch out, but it was more like a little bit.
I must have
Yeah.
got lucky because it was a full hanging hammock, and
Okay.
it was super comfortable. It was like this other one. There's two hammocks if you guys can see. I'm in
Mhm.
one that's more like a one that collapses down. It has this little bar at the top, but it's not enough to make it sit straight out, and that is really key for a hammock, because if
Yeah.
it's that flat hammock, you are more likely to fall out of that thing. And so that's why the other
Yeah.
one is hanging down over there, because I don't want to
Yeah.
fall out
I
of the
agree.
hammock.
No, I would say I don't mess with the hammocks that have the bar all the way across. It's just you don't. It's you can flip out them more easily, and it's not as comfortable. It
Yeah,
doesn't mold to your body width or whatever. So yeah, I
yeah.
guess yeah. So I would say if we're talking about different kinds of hammocks, they come in different. Like some of them are woven, some
Mm,
of them like seriously woven by hand, and they'll be kind of like a mesh, kind of like poop. And then there are others that are more like fabric that are woven, like
mm,
loom,
mhm,
probably like the you might have. It looks like that might be a woven kind.
yeah.
Um, and then there are others. The one that I have is nylon, and it just kind of depends on what you want to do with it. Like the nylon one is really lightweight,
Mm.
and it actually comes in. That's my cat. Okay, it comes in a. Wait, you can see her. Um, it's got a bag, so it actually like it's got a bag that you can stuff it all into, and then
Mhm.
it. Let me show you the other one. Um, yeah, so it's like this big.
Ah, yeah, which makes it packable, which is super nice. You can put it
Yeah.
on any tree anywhere.
Yes, and you travel. I travel with this one, and there's also the one that I have is the Eno, and
Mm,
Eno's smaller, and they also have a travel version which is even smaller than that.
yeah,
So that's what I
yeah.
would recommend if you're planning on moving around with a hammock and or if you're flying. If
Mhm.
you're driving and you've got space in your car, you can bring whatever. But if you're flying and you want to keep it compact, I would say do a nylon one. And then that, like the Mayan ones, they have like regular size, and then they have matrimonial, which is like for two people. You can
Mm,
have spread out two people. It holds the weight. And in the Yucatan, people actually sleep in hammocks every night, very comfortably, with the breezes coming through, et cetera, et cetera. It's
mhm.
nice. Right. So yeah, yeah.
All of that
Oh, and
sounds glorious.
there's also like a style of the ones with have like those pretty like fringe hanging off the side.
Mm,
The I think those are Brazilian, and I think those are more like the woven kind,
okay.
and they've got pretty like. But if you have a cat, I would recommend you don't get the little fringy things
Yeah.
because they're it's like too attractive for cats, and they will rip it to shreds. So yeah, choose your own adventure.
Right. That's true. That's really true. That's
Yeah,
really true. I love it. Prophet
yeah.
Mother says hammocks. Hey, glad I got this. Hey, y'all. I'm so glad you caught it too. This is a lot of fun. I love a good hammock and the rest that
Mm,
comes with it when we make time to just get in this hammock and enjoy it. So I'm glad you caught it too. I'm glad you caught it too. Okay, so Kat
yeah.
just explained a couple different types of hammocks. I know that I've seen hammocks be available for purchase, especially Enos. You can get an
Mhm,
Eno from REI, and the reason I like REI is REI has an
mhm,
amazing return policy, but you can also get them on
mhm.
on Amazon too. Do you have a favorite place where you like to buy your hammock?
Yeah, I agree with you about REI. Yeah, I would get just because you know what you're getting. I wouldn't necessarily get it on that big box place. I would get it closer to the manufacturer. Yeah, so you can, yeah.
Yeah,
If you have a problem with it, then you would be able to talk to the manufacturer directly. And
yeah.
I think Eno probably has a good return policy too, but I know REI does have a good return policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what?
Mhm.
Come to think of it,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what a good price for a hammock is. But I mean, obviously, you can shop around, but I think the
Yeah.
other thing, I prefer to get a double hammock than a single. I feel like
Mhm.
doubles are
Mhm.
like singles are a little on the narrow side. Like
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say probably, unless I'm, traveling and I want a little one. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's nice to be able to spread out, and then like dog and cat and child can jump in too, because they
Right.
always will. If you hang up a hammock and there's a child, they will want to get in. So yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like I said, we're about to get into our hammocks. Before we do
Mhm.
that, is there any hammock safety that you would encourage someone to
Mhm.
consider before just
Yeah.
going out and jumping into a hammock?
Yeah, I mean, so when you hang up your hammock, you have to make sure if you're gonna, you have to have a stud finder. Make sure you find a stud, not just in your drywall. You really have to make sure it's secure in both on both sides. If you're using like a big screw to put one, so what I have is I found a stud. I put like a big screw. It's like this with a little screw on the other end. Um, just make sure everything is secure on either end.
Hmm.
That's like essential. And then just make sure it's like I think it's between like 12 and 16 feet in between the trees or in between the different yeah 12 to 15 feet apart is kind of ideal, so that it's not too taut and it's not too loose. You want to get that nice little swoop down.
Hmm.
Um, that'll give you a nice sort of balance in between it being too tight and too loose. And then it's important that you get in diagonally. Don't try and like get in at a 90-degree angle to it. Get in sort of 45-degree angle. Get in diagonally, because if you try and get in like just go, like make a T square to it, that's when you can flip over and be like, it's skinny and you're top heavy and full, right?
Yeah.
So if you kind of schmook into it diagonally,
Hmm.
then you've got your, it'll kind of spread out with you. It
Hmm.
won't squinch. Like if you get into it, I can maybe show you what I'm talking about in a minute.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's important. Just make sure your ends are seriously secure, and get in diagonally. Those are really important. And then when you're laying in it, just if you do go in diagonal, you have less chance of this. But your feet should not. I see people in lying in hammocks, and they look like a banana, like they're shaped like wow, wow, or more like your feet should not be higher than your head. Like
Mm,
your head, should be a little higher, and then the rest of you should be relatively flat.
yeah.
So that's the diagonal. Being diagonal helps with that. Um, other safety. Yeah, you shouldn't be super close to the ground either, like, like not so close that your butt is is like dragging. If that happens, just tighten it up a little bit, like move up a notch or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll have like I have a rope on mine that like I tie different knots in it.
Mm,
Um, just to see like what height I need, depending on what like if I take this out to a tree and it's
mm.
further out, or this is closer if I'm in the house or whatever. So yeah, you'll just have to adjust it. You might have just to adjust it a couple times. You'll get in and it'll be like your butt's dragging on the ground, so you not go up a notch. Okay, we're good. We're
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I had to do all of that today because this is a new hammock in this spot. So I had to do my little test earlier. And I was glad I did it
Mhm.
off camera because, yeah, I had some technical difficulties getting it, but now it's in the right spot. But
I
Prophet
know.
She says, this sounds hard. No, it's not hard. It's just we want you to know what you're getting yourself into so you don't accidentally like flip
Yeah.
over and feel
Yeah.
like what the heck did I just do to myself? So it's not so
Yes.
much that it's hard. We just want you to have an idea of what you're getting yourself into because if I didn't
Because
try
people
this the first time with the white people, I'd have been on the ground, okay?
I know. I'm sure I flipped myself. Yeah, I'm sure I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to just because I did a little like a few Googles on like why hammocks are good for your health
Yeah.
and so you know how when you're rocking when a baby's little and you're always rocking
Mm,
a baby or like gently going like this or something like that. It's the hammock is similar to that. And the reason why we do that for babies and why they fall asleep like that is because this kind of rocking motion kind of does something to our brain waves, and
mm,
it kind of brings these I think it's alpha waves, and it helps your brain like move into more of a pre-sleep state.
mm,
And it also helps your brain once you do fall asleep. It helps you fall asleep faster, and it helps you fall asleep deeper. So
mm.
you're getting a lot of the like benefits of sleep much more quickly when you're getting this rocking. Yeah.
Which is so important because another thing that we could add to a whole nother video talking about this transition from being a strong Black woman is that we have a hard
Mm.
time letting our mind actually turn off when it's time to rest. And so
Yeah.
clearly, the benefits of the swing from the hammock are helping us shift our mind into that space where we're actually letting it tone down and get into the space of sleep. So I love that. I love that so, so much. I love it. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
and also the sort of it's got this like almost like a hug. The hammock is like cocooning you.
Yeah.
So it's like not just rocking you, but it's also, because a rocking chair is like that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't cocoon you. It
Yeah.
it really kind of it's like this nice gentle cocoon, which
Yeah.
I love.
That
So,
swaddle effect is real. Come on.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
real. So
yeah,
good. So good.
yeah.
Okay, so now you guys, we're actually going to get in our hammock. Even if you don't have a hammock, I want you to get into a restful position, lay on your
Rest.
bed, get in a chair, wherever you want to do. Kat does this wonderful nap time. We're going to spend just 20 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on the screen and we're going to rest for 20 minutes. Like let's
Yes.
actually not talk about the thing but do the thing. And
Yeah.
Kat is going to talk us through getting into her hammock and then we'll put that on. How
Yeah.
about
Yeah. Yes. And I will note that I'm not going to go to sleep because it's 8:30. It's too close to
that?
bedtime.
Mhm.
I'm not going to take a nap. I usually take my naps 1:30, 2 o'clock at the
Mm.
latest. So I'm going to actually grab a book because I have a couple books right now. And I'm reading, I might as well tell you, I'm reading this interesting book called Returning to Our Bodies. Uh,
Mm.
so I'm going to read the book
Yeah.
because I'm going to go to sleep, but I will relax.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will definitely
Yeah. I'm going to do some
relax. And
daydreaming.
I might drop the book.
Yeah. Yes. There's so much
For
space
sure.
to not even
Mhm.
even if we're not napping, but to allow our brain to rest in some capacity, whether it's reading. I'm going to daydream for a little bit. I mean, I do have my iPad so I can read if I wanted to, but yeah,
Mhm.
I want to read this other comment. Um,
Yes, about the holes in the apartment.
yeah, she
Yeah.
says I'm in an apartment, so I cannot put holes into the studs. So I built a mini freestanding mezzanine loft sitting underneath, chill place to hang out above, and a hammock chair that swings and hanging. Come on, that's
Love
too
it.
good. Look at you for being creative. Listen, we're
I love
applauding
it.
you for that. That's get it, girl. Because here's the
Yeah.
other thing, I didn't have a hammock at home. So my
Mhm.
other way of doing this, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. There is an area where there's just they have a couple hammocks hanging up there. And so when I didn't have a hammock at home, I would just go down there and hang in their
Mhm.
hammock for free. I would pray that
Mhm.
nobody is there. But I would also stay there long enough that once it was vacated, I hurry up and ran over there and got it. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that you figured it out. Oh wait, there's
Yeah.
also another comment. You said that
Mhm.
hanging from that in my living room, 630 feet, 630 square feet. I love my hammocks, have several, picked up a few discount retailers, double hammocks, $10 to $15. I love that. So you
That's
see,
nice.
right, the $10 to $15 is a good deal. I was pretty happy with mine. I got mine for $16. So
Oh,
that's a
wow.
advantage
Okay.
of it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So I
great.
got
Yeah,
mine
mine
off of
was yeah.
MacBid. It's amazing.
You went, okay, you bid it. All pre-cut lumber. Okay. Power drill. Okay, power drill.
Right. She's like, ain't nothing
I love
keeping me
it.
from
I
this
love it. I
hammock
love it.
life. She's like, I will
Mhm.
get my drill out if I have to.
Yes.
Come on. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I think mine were closer to like 50, $60 or maybe even more than that. I think
Okay.
you can get them on sale for around 50, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what time of year. Also, I wanted to say I do sometimes take my hammock out to I'm in DC. We have Rock Creek Park here, which is the largest urban national park in the country.
Hmm.
So I go in there and I find a couple trees. I'm like, how far is 12 to 15? Yeah, that looks about right. So yeah, I'll get my hammock and just plunk it up, get some ropes and like do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang
Yeah.
in the shade. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun
Yeah.
to like just I will say that like this is a hobby that I think we could take to, and the reason I call it a hobby, I I think hammocking is self-care, but what makes it a hobby is that this is something that we can do all the time. Like I want us to think about what are the ways that we like to have rest and fun on a regular basis. And like Kat is sharing, like she shares, she does this all the time. So why not make it something that we can regularly schedule, which is why I talk about it every Friday, because I'm always like, don't forget to schedule your hammock time for this week. So yeah, like enjoy that. Take it to different places, explore it in different places. When you're traveling, take it with you. Like you can have this form of self-care everywhere you go on a regular basis, you know?
Yes. Yes. She's Asha Dreams Awakened is saying, yeah, Rock Creek Park. She didn't know about Rock Creek Park. Yes, it is. It's just part of the city, but it's also like an escape from the city. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
nice. Lots of trees, and deer.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So good. All right. So
Yes.
walk us through, Kat. Let's get in our hammock.
All right. So yeah, I've got my hammock hung up here. I just take the hook and I hook it to that rope that I showed you earlier. So this hook attaches to that rope.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere up here, I guess. Maybe that's too low. So I just adjust it. Is that too low? Probably. I don't know. All right. Place my shades here. I think this might be it. It might be a little low. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, too low. Let's see. Okay, one more. All right. So, okay. So let me see if you can see it. All right. So what I'm doing, I have my pillows and my blankie in
Mm,
here,
I love that part
I
too.
yeah, open it a little bit. Like having the pillow here helps to keep it open, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And so when I get in, I'm like a little bit facing forward, not facing this way, facing a little bit forward. And then I just open it with my hand in the back here,
mm,
and then I get in. And I use this foot to push it out
mm.
so that it's spread out. And then I get adjust with my pillows and et cetera, et cetera. And then I lay back, and that's
I,
it.
I love it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna attempt to do the same thing without falling out the hammock, y'all. So I have been in this hammock before, but like I said, it's new today. But I'm gonna get in the hammock. I'm gonna put a timer on, and we are gonna hammock for the next 20 minutes. So, yeah, we'll see you in 20 minutes. Putting the countdown on now. Okay.
Thank you. Excellent.
I
Mhm.
made it.
Oh, that's good.
Sway a little bit without falling over.
Do you have a pillow?
I don't. I didn't think to bring one down, and I'm scared to get out of it and have to get back in.
No. Don't be
I am gonna
scared.
have to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this. I love that you have even a blanket. You know, I thought about like during the fall, I would love to come out here with a pillow and my electric blanket, and it's like just a little brisk, but nice to get under
Uh-huh.
my blanket. Like that sounds amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. This room is not super warm in the winter, so yeah, I've learned to bring a blankie. Mm. 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 Mm.
We made it, you guys. Taking my time to like sit back up in the hammock. We had a
Nice.
couple people join. Hi, Lori. Lori says, I need a hammock. You're right, Lori. You do need a hammock.
You do. We
We
all do.
all need a hammock for sure. Over on Instagram, we had platform artist joined. Let me see joined. Thank you all for joining. We are just
I
wanting
hope
to
that,
share how much
yes,
hammocks are amazing.
yes. And I hope that some of you, or all of you, or some of you at least, were able to get some rest in, some downtime, some lay down time along with us.
Yeah, for sure. Like that was a huge part of, what I was hoping this to be. So, we talked about like making space for the fact that rest is not lazy and you are not lazy, and I'm saying those words right now, but it is now and forevermore a bad word. Lazy is a bad word. There's no space for it in your vocabulary because all it does is really guilt you into feel like you need to do more, and where we are intentionally like making space for rest. So I hope that you guys will join us in that. I hope that you'll check out a hammock, and if you do, let us know in the comments below. Yeah, any other thoughts before we finish up, Kat?
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that my naps and my a lot of my hammock resting is inspired by the nap bishop.
Mm,
Rest is resistance, and a lot of at the beginning of a lot of the naps that I do on YouTube, I'll read from her rest deck. I'll read a card and I'll use that as inspiration. And one of her favorite, my like favorite phrases that she uses is "You are not a machine.
mm,
Um, you're not a machine. You need to remember that you're in a body that needs care and it needs to be tended to. And part of the care and tending of your body is rest and sleep and downtime and feeling gravity underneath your body
mm.
and being held and being rocked and staring into space and daydreaming. All of that. It's very important that we give ourselves time to do that.
Yeah, it's so important. And I'm glad you said that for multiple reasons because I am so excited. I actually just got that book at um the Essence Festival, and I'm going to get the cards as well. So, you guys, if you are getting into resting and napping, an amazing resource. But also, I want you to guys to make sure you take a second and go follow Kat. Kat does nap times for adults pretty regularly. And
Mm-hmm.
I have been trying to I am going to start putting them on my calendar because, like I talk about with Freedom Fridays, if we don't actually like make space for it, it doesn't generally happen by accident. Like rest and naps and
Yeah,
time to daydream, none of that happens by accident. We have to be intentional about it. So Kat has an
yeah.
amazing time for like she sets aside time for us to do that. Join her. Make sure you're
Yeah.
subscribed to your channel. Do you have an email list, or how do you usually do that, Kat?
Um, Yeah, you can go to my website, rebloomroom.com, and you can sign up for my list there. And you can subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm also Rebloom Room on Instagram if you want to follow me there too. Yeah, and I have a nap coming up this Friday, July 29th, I guess. 26th, sorry, July 26th. And like I said, I usually do them 1:30. This one's 1:30 Eastern time. So I usually do them early afternoon so that you can get a nice nap in and not disrupt your nighttime sleep.
I love that. I love that. Ashad Dreams Awakened said, just reposted this on my YouTube channel. Yay! I
Thank
hope that we
you.
welcome so many more people into rest time. Come on, that's amazing. And then for
Yeah.
Friday, I do my Freedom Fridays event at noon, and that's all about first getting your list of rest and fun things that you need to prioritize that you would like to see yourself do on a regular basis, and then putting it in your schedule for the week. So that's what we
Mhm.
spend our hour co-planning and celebrating our wins too, because we as Black women, we don't celebrate just how much progress we're making. So
Yeah.
I hope that you take a second and you come over to Freedom Fridays and then head over to Kat's event and take a nap, girl. Wind down for the
Yeah.
weekend and take a nap.
Bring it down for just 20 minutes. It feels nice. It feels good, and it's good for your body and it's good for your mind. Yeah,
Yes, I love
yeah.
it. I love it. I'm actually going to make sure when I get done, when we get off of this, I'm going to schedule it in my own calendar so that I'll be ready on Friday for nap time. So I hope that you guys
Excellent.
will too. All
Yes,
right, you
yes, yes.
guys. Any other
Thank
closing
you.
thoughts or anything
God.
else before we finish?
I think we got it. I think we got it.
I think we did
Yeah,
too. This is a
yeah.
good time. Thank you so much, Kat, for doing this. I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
that you
Yeah,
came on and did this with me.
I love
Yes.
it.
I'm very excited that I did not fall out of the hammock, even though
Me
I
too.
learned from you. I think mine is a little too taut, so I'm gonna have to loosen mine up a little bit. But you
Mhm.
guys, it's not as
Yeah,
hard as we made it seem. Like Kat
yeah.
gave us all the tricks and tips. Just try them
Mhm.
out and you'll get it, deep breath.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So that's amazing, you guys.
Yeah.
Yay! She said,
Thank
thanks,
you.
y'all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all for joining. Kat, thanks for having you. You guys have a great rest of your evening. And I will see you on Wednesday morning when we chat with Marissa Price about Black Girl Depression. So have a wonderful
Okay.
time until then, okay?
Thank you.
Bye.